So I gotta be quiet on this one. It's right now, it's the 14th of March 2024, 1:52 a.m. In common fashion, I have to be quiet because my parents are next door and I don't want to wake them up. And this video diary isn't for the 14th, obviously it's for the 13th of March. I had an argument with my parents today. It's sad to see that the people that are closest to you seem to be the ones that show you the least amount of support when you try to do something out of the ordinary, such as running a business. Now, I'm not saying that they don't support me. Of course they support me, but it's every now and then they say something sly and it just triggers this defensive mechanism deep within my body where it just feels like it's something that it just bursts out of me, this defensive personality. I don't know what happens, but this defensive personality just bursts out of me and it feels like I'm going to physically hurt someone. But it sucks, you know? I feel like the reason why it's the people closest to you isn't because necessarily they have malicious intent. Because they love you. They genuinely care for you. I think it's because these people just have different mental models. And they want you to do what they feel like is best. But what they feel like is best comes from a completely different mindset. There's two different mindsets. There's the mindset of, wow, this is hard and I'm not getting results within a month or 2 months or 3 months. It's not worth doing. My mindset is, wow, this is difficult. But imagine the story when I reach the peak. Now imagine the advice that would come out of both those people. Out of love, of course, and out of care. Imagine the advice or the difference of advice rather that would come out of those two separate mindsets. The advice would be different, right? The advice would be completely different. So I think that's why the support just isn't there. And I'm not saying that my parents don't support me. I'm just saying that every now and then they say something and it triggers this defensive personality to just burst out of me. Now, I learned one thing today when I was meditating, and that was analyze your moves. Because if you think about business like you're playing chess, every move that you make, you could have made the right move and you could have made the wrong move. But if you're making a move over and over and over, and you're being beaten every single time, maybe the move isn't the right move, right? So let me put it into context. One thing that I've been doing a lot is cold calling, right? Now, cold calling is great, but it takes up a lot of time. 4 hours, 5 hours a day, like a lot of time. Like, I'll book in appointments, of course, but it just takes up a stupid amount of time, right? And what I feel like is if I'm doing all the cold calls, I kind of lose a little bit of status or positioning when it comes to the sales call, if you get what I mean. Like, if I'm the one that calls you on the cold call and I'm the one that sits the sales call, just subconsciously my status kind of becomes a little bit lower. Like, I lose that authority a little bit on the sales call, right? But if a larger group were to do cold calls for me and they cold call you and it's me, a different person sitting the sales call, you would more likely you would more likely respect the sales call a lot more, you know, and put me in a higher position of authority, because subconsciously you would say, oh wow, this is a larger corporation than just this one guy, when in reality it is just me, right? So that's one thing. And also, it's just making the smartest moves, working hard, yes, but working smart at the same time. So I'll never know until I find out, but I probably made one of the smartest moves, which is hiring an outsourced cold calling agency. Essentially making all the cold calls for me, so I don't need to take up so much time. And I can actually focus all my time and efforts into practicing sales and delivering the service for my clients. Because I'm not even gonna lie, doing all the cold calls and stuff like that, it's been taking up a lot of time away from my clients. So it frees up a lot of time on my end as well. Eventually, I'd like to hire a contractor, but that comes secondary. That obviously does come secondary. But I'd like to train someone with all the systems that I do. Obviously, I can't train someone to do exactly what I do, because it just makes it too easy to go off and do it on your own. So obviously I'd like to separate it into two groups, right? Landing page building and Facebook ad creation. Or it can be content creation and Facebook ad managing, as well as landing page creation. So 3 separate groups. Now obviously I'm gonna have to find a way to pay all those separate groups, but you know, that's a problem for future me to figure out. Right now I'm just trying to figure out exactly how I can make this business as of now as efficient as possible, because right now there's a lot of friction. So I need to make it very, very efficient. And now with the tutoring thing, I just put up a separate group of ads, which is picture ads, and I'm hoping that the picture ads have an appeal to a different kind of person, you know. So we'll see how that goes. We'll definitely see how that goes. And I'm in process of editing all the videos and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a lot of work to do. Yeah, and that's pretty much all I needed to say. I also did all my sales training today and filmed myself kind of, what was it? It was the role play. It was a self role play for the sales role. So I filmed that and I uploaded it onto a Google Drive and I sent it to the sales agency. So hopefully they see that and they can give me some good feedback on how I can improve my either tonality, or possibly it's something to do with the stuff that I say, or maybe even my accent. Who knows? But yeah, we're gonna make this work, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna make this work. Alright, well, that's all for me. Z out. Good night, guys.